Hello there, PolishLynx here. Always remember me. The game, of course, is back. We can only go home, so let's go there. I was released from the hospital in the morning and came right home. When I walked inside, I was greeted with a soft meow when my cat, Nina, brushed up against my leg. Hi Nina, did you miss me? I smiled and reached down to pet her affectionately, for I couldn't help but remember how Aaron would always fuss over her. Nina was a great judge of character, and she adored Aaron, even before he started bringing treats for her all the time. Aaron always loved cats so much. He loved big cats and little cats like you, but you were always his favorite kitty. Nina cuddled my fingers affectionately when I knelt down to pick her up. But Aaron has probably forgotten about you too. The sadness I had been trying to keep out of the front of my mind returned as I pulled my cat into an embrace and sighed. I had slept very poorly, and the fatigue from the crash hadn't worn off. I lost my parents in a car accident. Oh my god. And now it looks like I'm going to lose the man I loved one as well. I sat in the living room with Nina on my lap when Gwenda came in to comfort me. Oh my, Amy, what happened? I briefly told her about the accident. She was overjoyed to know that I was already alright, and that I had hardly been hurt. Oh, thank God you're okay, but why didn't you call me? The doctor said I was alright, and I didn't want you to worry about me. I had been staying with my Aunt Gwenda for several years. Since my parents passed away when I was still young, Gwenda had taken care of me ever since. She's a kind woman, and I greatly appreciated how caring she had always been to me. However, her pension wasn't enough to fully pay for my college tuition. Okay, it doesn't sound good, but maybe it's good. Which is why I took the part-time job at the ice cream parlor. You can now make your first choice. Several icons will pop up, showing all the possible actions in this location. On each icon you will see a brief description and the effects of the action. Each choice consumes at least one turn of game time. Some actions are available only during certain periods of the day. For example, Aunt Gwenda goes to bed very early, so you won't find her hanging around at late hours. It's now noon, so a good thing to do could be to eat something, or you can just relax and read a book. But that costs money. I don't know, I have a feeling we should talk with her. Yes, my dear, what's troubling you? Aaron doesn't remember me at all. And the doctor said we don't want to give him too much stress, since it might make him forget more, or make it harder for him to remember what he has forgotten. Honey, I'm sure he will remember you soon enough. You're the love of his life. The two of you were so close, the cutest little lovebirds in town. It's just these past few years that he's forgotten for. What if he doesn't recover? Then you will just make him love you again. Really? You think that would work? I'm so afraid that we might never be together again. We have so many precious memories, and to think that he doesn't remember any of them. I couldn't help but shudder at the thought. He will be able to do it. In the absolute worst case scenario, you just have to start off from square one again. Even if his mind doesn't recall the memories you two share, His heart will still love you. Not even amnesia can erase that. You're right. Thank you, Auntie. I feel a bit better now. Of course, that's what family is for. Woohoo! After talking with Gwenda, I feel better. Sometimes you just need to open up with someone who cares about you. Morale +7. Woohoo! We talk, so no need. This is with money, and we can pay more than 10, so... And, well, can't tell we are rich. Let's go with TV.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome.
Who's awesome? I'm awesome! Okay, I watched a new anime on TV. It was a lot of fun and relaxing as well. Morale +2, energy +4. What kind of anime? I mean, what title? Amy, I've prepared your favorite cake. Thanks, Gwenda. But I'd like to stay alone for a while and rest, okay? I didn't sleep very well at the hospital. I had too much on my mind. That's fine. Get some rest. You can eat a piece of cake tomorrow morning before going to work. Good night, Gwenda. I went to my bedroom with Nina in my arms and sat down at the desk. I picked a notebook and decided to try and get my feelings under control in the most familiar way I knew, writing about them. I picked up a pen and started writing a poem. Your gentle touch, the warmth of your embrace, the passion of your kiss, precious times that felt ever so divine. I thought that they would never leave, but even though I can't reach you anymore, I can't open my eyes to find you there, I will always have my memories. For they are not as warm as the hands that always made me feel so safe. I know they will never disappear, as you now have. My beloved, my heart is forever yours, even if you are lost, beyond where my trembling voice can reach you. Even if your memories fade, or disappear into the darkness, I will never forget the precious times when we faced the world together. My beloved, for today, for tomorrow, for the days that may never return, never forget the words we once exchanged. I love you. When I awoke that morning, I knew that I had to go to the ice cream parlor. It was Sunday and I had a long shift to attend to. I considered calling out, knowing that they would understand if I explained the situation, but decided that it would be best to go in anyway. Otherwise, everyone would start to worry about me. I had no doubt that news of the accident was already traveling quickly. Gossip seemed to get around in town really fast. Okay, so we go to... Well, that's not far. Which is great. I got ready and arrived at the shop 15 minutes before the start of my shift. I hadn't wanted to dwell at home, for as soon as I walked in I knew I was too early. It was still early morning and there were only a few customers around. I was surprised to catch sight of a familiar face seated at one of the tables, apparently taking a break from work. Hey, are you alright? Wait, Lawrence? Seriously, this is a guy? Okay. I couldn't help but notice the genuine worry on his expression when he saw the braces on my arms and legs. I appreciated his concern. Morning, Lawrence. I'm doing okay. Are you sure? Those bruises look really painful. Yeah, I'm sure. They really aren't as bad as they look. Really? I don't know if I could work with bruises that big. You're a strong woman. I can hardly feel them. Thanks, for. How did it happen? You aren't in any trouble, are you? Tell him everything. Keep your privacy. Okay, hopefully this is a good idea to tell him. Well, I got in a car accident. What? When was that? How did it happen? I felt a little bad for worrying him, but the tenderness in his eyes made me feel slightly better. It was nice to know that there were people who cared. I decided to explain to him what had happened, since there was little secret to it. I was on a motorcycle with Aaron. He protected me when we got into the crash. That's why I'm not very badly hurt. It wasn't his fault. I think the other driver was drunk. That's terrible. How is Aaron? I haven't heard anything about him recently. Actually, Aaron suffered a head injury. He has amnesia now. I'm sorry to hear that. How bad is it? Will he recover? I think he will. Luckily, it isn't too expensive, but... What? He doesn't remember me anymore. Lawrence's eyes widened slightly when I revealed the cost of Aaron's protection. Amy. It's not so bad, though. Thanks for worrying about me, Lawrence. +5, Lawrence White. It's really nice to see people who still care, but I've got to go start my shift. I'll talk to you more later. See you later. During the summer, Amy works part-time from morning to noon, from Monday to Friday, as a waitress in an ice cream parlor owned by an old friend of Gwenda's. She gets paid only with tips, usually around $5 each turn. Being kind to the customers will earn her more money, so depending on her mood she can earn more. There are good and bad days, but in general working will always lower her energy by a good amount and morale by a small amount. This energy can be restored in several ways. Some are drinking or eating, relaxing or taking a nap at home, and at the end of every day when you get in bed. There are other ways to gain both energy and morale and also improve Amy's stats, but discovering them is part of the fun of playing the game. That's great. Now that work day will start and you will see the results. If this first week goes bad, don't worry. This is normal, since Amy's morale is very low because of what just happened.
Could have gone better.
Well, it's not that bad.
Bring it on!
Success! I was very kind and people rewarded me accordingly. Oh yeah. At noon, your regular shift is over, but you can come here again and decide to do overtime if you have enough morale and energy until evening. You can also come here anytime to perform other actions, like talking with Lawrence, who works here full-time every day until evening, or get an ice cream for yourself. Remember though, that doing overtime is a very stressing action, and if your morale is low, it's really a bad idea. I still feel weak. It will be better if I get back home now. I don't think they would allow me to see Aaron yet anyway. I'm coming home. When I got home from work, I found the house empty except for my cat Nina. Nina and I went up to my room and I turned the computer on to check my email, mostly to see if there was any news from Aaron's family or the hospital. I knew it was rather unlikely to have more correspondence from them so soon, but couldn't help but hold on to the hope there would be something new. I sat down at my desk and looked around my inbox, scanning the titles and senders of the new and unread messages. I frowned when I saw there was nothing new from Eddie or anyone else from the hospital crew. Nothing good. Too bad. I decided to do some research on amnesia. It took a while before I found anything interesting, but after a bit of searching around I found the following explanations about the basics of the amnesia. It is a condition in which memory is disturbed or lost completely. People can forget about things they did, or they will simply fail to remember the things they are currently doing in the near future. I kept reading but only got confused from the more complicated medical terms. I was distracted from reading when a small notification box saying I had a new mail popped up. You have one new message. Secret admirer. I clicked a bit absent-mindedly since the address was unknown. Maybe I shouldn't open it. It could be a virus or spam. Nina hopped up onto the desk and meowed rather loudly. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to see what it is. Right, Nina? I opened the mail, eyeing the unknown address warily. The message was simple and written in plain black text. Hey there, Emmy. I hear you're quite the poet. I'd love to read more of your work, but you don't really share it with anyone, do you? I'm a big fan, and your secret admirer, as the saying goes. Keep writing, girl. I don't like him. Ignore. I shook my head slightly and clicked back to the inbox, deciding to ignore the unusual message. I was about to check my book review blog when the computer shut down. I tried to restart it several times, but nothing happened. My computer just had to break at a time like this. For a moment I thought it might have been a virus or that mysterious mail, but then realized that was silly. The computer wouldn't even turn on, so the failure was clearly in the hardware. Nina, still sitting on my desk, gave me a puzzled look. Great, now I won't be able to check my email or blog from home anymore. We have to buy a new one? Oh crap. I must go to sleep now. Tomorrow I have to work. Morale and... well, that's bad that morale went down. Terrible.
Bring it on!
I slept really well. I dreamed I was in a world made of ice cream. Wow, that would be an awesome world, I think. Okay, let's end the episode here. Hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one then. Bye!